Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning into this episode of That's Our Take. We've got our friend Anthony, or Bad Andy, on Twitter and Twitch and YouTube and all that stuff, joining us again today. And we're going to start out with this episode. Fun little thing, a present for you.
For me?
For you.
I think I know what it is already. Then.
You probably have a pretty good idea of what it is already.
I got you, Cluck Radio.
It's an 8-track player.
Yay!
But no, seriously. Why and thank you.
You're welcome.
Yay!
No, seriously, like, I won't take it out of the box. It's too much to... Maybe I will. There you go.
I think you dropped a cord.
Yeah, a couple of them. This is amazing. I don't know if...
I have
Oh,
no
this is
idea
amazing.
what games come on it. But it
Mostly
looks
all
like all
these
the good
ones.
ones. All the ones you'd want to come on NES Classic.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And this actually has one unreleased game on there, Star Fox 2.
No shit. I didn't know there was a Star Fox 2. I've only played Star Fox 64.
That's the better one,
Yeah.
honestly. But the original one for the Super Nintendo, they made a number 2, which was like a way different type of game that they never. It was like 95% complete before the plug was pulled on it. This is amazing. Thank you guys.
You're welcome.
I will be playing this all night, probably when I get home.
So, Adrian, if you're watching, sorry.
Yeah.
All right. So, today's episode, we're going to dive into what do you want to start with?
Well, we can start with music, I think, because I like music. I know you guys do.
Music.
It's easy to either
Music.
that, or we can just free flow topics. We were talking about cereal.
We were talking about cereal and how Trix brought the shapes back, and how now it seems that every big cereal from our childhood is just adapting all of the other flavors that have been coming out over the last 20 years.
It really is. I
Just
mean,
kind of running with it.
let's go. Let's start with that. It's
It needs to be addressed. Okay.
Important issues. The fruity
here.
Cheerios.
We always tackle the most important first, and that's going to be the different kinds of cereals that are out there, because there are, dare I say, too many of them now.
Ooh, perhaps.
I was just saying that there's a whole new line that kind of goes along with the Oreo O's, which is very hard to say sometimes.
Yeah.
They have golden Oreo O's, and then they have Chips Ahoy, which is just basically like Cookie Crisp, just without the mascot. They have
That wolf.
they have a Sour Patch Kids cereal, which I'm too scared to try. They have a vanilla wafer banana pudding one that was actually really good.
It's interesting. The Sour Patch one, how could you eat that for breakfast?
I'm-
Like a
That's
sour...
That's what I'm saying.
Sour
It's-
sweet.
No, I don't.
Imagine eating a Sour Patch Kid and then drinking a cup of milk.
None of that sounds good.
No, it doesn't, man. It doesn't at all.
I tried. It was Honey Bunches of Oat maple bacon, which I thought sounded better than the Honey
sound
Bunches of
good.
Oat chicken and waffles.
Okay, I didn't hear that.
But the maple bacon, I ate like a bowl and I threw the box out. It was not good. There was a reason why it was on clearance at Woodman's. It was.
Oh, sure. Woodman's is an employee-owned grocery store here in the Wisconsin area.
It's got really cheap things in there because they sell it very close to the expiration date.
That's a trick. That's a trick. Like my first wife.
Sorry, Tabitha.
All right.
But
I don't know where that came from.
My wife.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
don't know.
refuse to do impressions.
Okay. What's the best impression you do?
Um,
You brought it up. I wasn't going to go there.
I don't. I'm not good at impressions. Call on the other kids in class. Come back to me. Maybe I'll have an answer. Then.
Okay, you're not stupid. You're just panicking. I get it. No problem.
On the spot with no one else
Yeah, sure.
to do it.
Sure. I can do sometimes. It really depends on my throat and my mood, and
what she said.
Hey.
if one of my socks is on inside out. And
Which it is.
today, have all three criteria have been met today, so I think I can maybe do a voice. I don't know what voice though. I do a pretty good. I don't know if it's Irish or Scottish though.
Oh.
that I always
Skyrish.
Skyrish. There you go.
The new, yeah.
Right. But I can only say the one thing. It's like, all right. That's all I can do, really.
What's funny is I was just watching Brave
Oh, sure.
just yesterday, so it kind of reminds me of that. So I think you're right
Yeah.
in that.
Yeah.
Just like more dude. Be right on track for that. I can do.
Do you mind saying donkey for me?
Donkey.
That's it.
It kind of Irish, Scottish.
Yeah, that was like
Kinda
a
all-
mix of like Europe,
Yeah.
kind of just
It's a
all in
hybrid,
one.
Yeah, like when you try to do like a British accent, sometimes a little Australian, right?
Yeah.
Right,
You're right.
mate.
I think. Now I can't remember how I did it. I kind of figured out how to do an Australian accent. I like kind of turned my mouth to the side a little bit, and I was talking. I was talking about heading up the beach, and hitting on a little skidoo out the waves.
Oi,
Oi!
you bloody wanker! I can kind of do a boomhauer
All right, okay? Go ahead.
from King of the Hill.
Sure, sure.
Let's see. No, taking the town down there. Take it out about that. That breaking about that boomhauer. They on boomhauer.
That's exactly it.
You just make a joke, Bobby.
Yeah, yes, I did.
You remember two women at one time? Both. My mom and Mr. Coach Klein. One woman's just in disgust, the other's like, ooh,
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
You are a naughty boy. I too was damaged as a child. Tell me more.
That movie gets way underrated. People don't like it. It's not.
I've never met a person who don't like. Maybe because I don't surround myself with those type of assholes.
Sure.
You know.
Like critically and all around, I think it's pretty panned as being not that good of a movie. I don't.
I get because it's so it's a character. You either like the character of Bobby Boucher or you don't care for it.
It's a good point.
You either
I
like Adam Sandler or you don't, kind of
I
thing.
like that Adam Sandler. I like
Sure.
Billy Madison. I like for the most part. Little Nicky, which a lot of people don't like apparently. I love
that was
that movie.
that was kind of an underrated movie for sure.
And then
I
of
liked him in
course,
Mr.
Happy
Deeds.
Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
There you
Mr.
go.
Deeds was good too, though.
Yeah.
Happy Gilmore, I think. Happy Gilmore and Waterboy are two of my favorite. Some of my favorite movies of all time. I think.
Sure. Those were those good comedy movies.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Sandler had a couple of them.
Just a few, and then he went on to do many, many more that aren't.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. He did that one movie about, I think, I don't remember if it was called Bedtime Stories or something like that.
Yeah.
And that was okay. It was all right.
There was some funny moments in it, but
Yeah.
I was like so disinterested. I don't remember most of it. I just kind of started like falling asleep, or I got up and made myself some
I'm
food.
going to bring the mic closer to your mouth. Turn it that way, and then boom.
I always like Big Daddy though. That was a good movie. I
Yeah.
like the
Oh,
like,
yeah.
characters in there.
Yeah.
You know.
Because he wasn't like playing a character in that movie. He was just
Mhm.
like he was just an
Being
actor
someone,
playing a
yeah.
character. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know what the difference. I'm trying to say that there's
He's
a
not
difference.
A caricature.
Sure.
He is a
there you go.
character.
There
He's
you
just, He's just a person.
He's just a person.
He's
Kind of
not
a-
an exaggerated whatever.
Yeah. There you go. Just a
He's like, oh, I have
Yeah.
a kid now. Well,
what do
I
I
don't
do?
want him, but now I do want him, and
Right.
breakfast is at 10:30. And that's really all you get from that movie.
I thought it was 11.
End
I thought that
credits.
too. No, there's all day breakfast.
Well, somebody get this kid a Happy Meal.
Yeah. No shit. All day breakfast.
I wasn't cursing at you. I was cursing at the lady.
That is pretty funny.
And then I haven't seen any of his newer movies. The Grown Ups, like I haven't seen those. Apparently, they're funny.
The Grown Ups movies.
Yeah.
I felt like because you would think with the Adam Sandler, David Spade, Chris Rock, and that other guy that I can never remember his name. He was in
Paul Blart.
Kevin James was in it too, but then there's the other guy, the guy who played the lemon tuna fish guy
Oh yeah, I don't know his
for
name.
Big Daddy, and he was in the Deuce Bigelow.
Oh,
Yeah.
Rob Schneider.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Rob Schneider. All of them were in the Grown Ups movie, and it seemed like you would imagine, you would expect it to just be the funniest thing, but it's so written like a comedy or like a Saturday Night Live sketch where it's just punchline after punchline. It's like you can just kind of like I don't know if any of them had anything in writing it. They just wanted these characters because they're funny people.
Yep.
There's, speaking of funny people, that's another movie by him. But
Thank you.
There's a lot of those old Saturday Night Live movies that I thought actually did well, and then there's the other half of them that did not at all. Like Blues Brothers was a good movie.
Yeah.
I loved Night at the Roxbury. It's so stupid of a movie, and it didn't need to be made, but at the same time it did, because otherwise we would never have, a new generation would have never heard Hadaway's What Is Love.
Yep. And everyone does this when they hear it,
Yeah.
and then they find the nearest woman and assault her.
No shit. That's kind of the thing. Wayne's
table.
World.
Like, a lot of people liked Coneheads, but when I saw it, I didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah.
I really liked Coneheads.
I think it was, maybe I saw it when I was too young, so I didn't quite get the
Definitely
humor.
a possibility. Because a lot of that shit came on when we were young.
Mm-hmm. Those are all characters that started from SNL and then kind of
Made their own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how Waterboy first started, but it was called Canteen Boy.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea it was a Saturday Night Live sketch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
It's funny. It's really good. Yeah, check out
I'll have
Canteen Boy.
Look up Canteen Boy on YouTube.
Yeah.
Pause the video now. Go look it out. Come back and thank us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe to That's Our Take for premium content like this.
And then the iCard up at the top, and then over here with the other things, and then down over here with the more things to click, and then under here with more in the description.
Your little ticker tape. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not post editing anything there.
If you guys enjoyed Waterboy and his character, Adam Sandler is that character. Check out, what is that, Sandy Wexler? It's the show on Netflix. I think Netflix made it, where he's like a late '80s, early '90s person in Hollywood trying to.
Oh, is it Adam Sandler that? Or
Yeah.
It was. I saw commercials like, this looks like I might be interested, but I am been burned too many times.
It is so good. Worth the watch.
Not ready to get hurt again.
Still cut me deep.
Yeah, and he was in a movie that was kind of a spoof of Clue that's on Netflix as well.
Really?
Yeah, that was a watch. I didn't watch it.
Oh wait, I think I saw a commercial for that.
I think maybe Jennifer Aniston might have been in that one, or she was in the Getaway one with him. I don't remember.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Drew Barrymore's been on like 17 movies with him, so it could have been
Oh,
Drew
yeah.
Barrymore.
Yeah, him in 50 First Dates was weird. I didn't think Adam Sandler would make a good like romantic comedy guy.
Yeah.
But
I love that movie.
It's a good
It's
movie.
actually a
It's
good
really
movie.
good.
It's got a lot of funny in it, but it also has a lot of story in it, and it's actually a good balanced movie.
Yeah, yeah. What a twist.
They built the Waffle House or the Pancake House with the sticks, and that was cool.
Yeah, yeah.
And I, to this day, when I think of Hawaiians, I always think of, hey, peanut butter cup. Doing a lot more impressions on this than I thought I would.
You open the floodgate.
I guess.
What was I going to say? Oh, you're talking about Netflix originals. My wife and I have been starting to watch The Boys. Have you seen that yet on Amazon?
On Amazon, no, but that's for sure going to happen soon.
It's good, but it's very raunchy. So
Sure.
make sure that kids are to bed.
Yeah.
I mean, like full frontal. And
I
I'm
don't even know where
talking
my kid
male,
is now.
so-
I don't even care.
I don't worry till 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
The news tells me.
And the
to
news
worry.
says, "Do you know where your kids are?" I was like, "Oh fuck, that's right."
No. My wife put it on because I actually started working from home now. So sometimes she'll work
Okay.
from home too. So she has background music or background noise on. So she put it on. And the first time she's like, "Oh," and I turn and I look. I'm like, "Oh, there's the
Schlong.
big floppy." Just
Sure,
I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's a thing apparently."
sure.
But so far it's good. I like it. It's pretty good.
The
It's
schlong?
just- yeah. Well, I mean, it was a little too long for me personally, but it could have been shortened by at least like 20 minutes.
The camera adds
inches.
10 inches. You know,
Sure, yeah.
that's what they say.
But no, that's one to check out if you.
I do want to. The story line of it kind of seems to really pique my interest. I really like that Will Smith movie. No, I can't think. Where he was like
Hancock?
Hancock. Where where they're superheroes, they have superpowers, but they're not
they're-
superheroes morally. You know,
They're just they're superhuman, but they're not but they're still human.
Yeah, there you go. Superhuman, maybe not superheroes, but they're still Americans.
This is very corrupt superhero business, essentially.
Right.
So
Right.
it's worth a watch. And
Yeah.
if people are saying it's worth a watch, it is worth one.
Yeah, I want to check
I don't
it out.
always believe that myself, so.
Yeah.
But I think there's not really any originals that are out that I'm interested in, so.
They're trying to do a little bit of everything. Are you talking about Netflix solely or just
Any of
original
them.
movies?
Netflix, Hulu, Amazon,
They're trying really hard, but nothing's.
HBO, Disney.
Mm-hmm.
They all got their own, which is annoying that they all have their own streaming services.
I know it's almost to the point now where it's just as expensive to have them all as it is to get cable.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, oh, we just got cable again.
Did you?
Although we got cable because we're like, we'll get like Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, get
Right.
some of those things, and turn on Cartoon Network. I'm like, ooh, I do not like Teen Titans Go at all. It's terrible. This is the worst show ever created. Teen Titans was so great. This just makes a mockery of it. So I'm gonna go down to Nickelodeon. They're like, Nickelodeon's a premium channel that you don't have. I'm like, since what? We have the basic cable package. What?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So
Used to always be on 56, 57, or was it 57, 58?
no,
56, 57.
and 58 used to be.
AMC?
58 was CBS. 58 News. Remember?
Oh, that was Channel 5, though, on
But
cable.
it was still called CBS 58.
It was
50
58.
And 59 was the Disney Channel.
Yep.
Originally
And-
65 or 64.
It was 64 or 65. Yeah.
Then it went to 59, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think they
Or did
cut
it
out.
go back up to? I don't remember.
They just removed some of the bullshit infomercial channels and
Or C-SPAN.
yeah. Yeah.
Bullshit C-SPAN.
I remember it was always like 2 in the morning. I got done watching all the anime on Adult Swim or Cartoon Network, or depending on what age I'm thinking of. And then I'd be like, well, what else is on? And I'm flipping through. I'm like, and it's just, it's like a one like security camera shot, and it's just like, and then it has like the person on the bottom who's talking, and they're like, I'm like, yeah, I guess it is time for bed.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, cable. I don't think we'll ever get cable again.
It's not worth it.
It's
We got
not.
it to just put on in background noise.
Yeah.
You can get almost all the same shows on Hulu or on whatever
Mhm.
channel.
Yeah. And now Hulu wants you to pay them for live TV too, like $60 a month. It's something like stupid like that.
Mhm.
Just like, no, I'm not giving you my cable subscription. There's a reason I canceled it from them.
Right, yeah. 20 years ago, we were before Netflix came out, we were like, can you give us, can we just pay for the channels we want? We don't want to be paying for all these channels and, let us select which ones we want. And they're like, no, 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 no. And then someone else comes in and says, we'll buy your content and then give it out, give the people what they want.
Yeah.
And then after it was so successful for 7, 8, 9 years, now they're pulling their own content to make their own streaming channel.
Yeah.
Like, you fucking pricks.
NBC, ABC, they're all trying to do their own channels.
Netflix is gonna. I mean, hot take: Netflix will be done in like 5 years.
You think so?
They're gonna have their own. Well, they're pulling their own original content too, to make room for other original content that people like the stuff they're pulling,
Yep.
and most people are like, "Oh, why are you pulling the show we're working on? We like working on it."
Right.
So-
Some of the original stuff that's coming out is watchable, some of it, but a lot of it's just like kind of unnecessary. Or
Yeah.
they'll pick up canceled shows on cable and then they'll throw a season on, see what happens, kind of
I
thing.
just finished Arrested Development. That's actually really good.
I didn't finish the last season. I forgot about it. I knew it came out, and I just was like, I got too much going on. I never went back to watch it.
And does that end after that 5th season? Like Netflix did 2 seasons of it. They and now it's done. So they picked it up, and then it's done now.
I don't know actually.
I wonder if they're going to come out with more seasons or.
I thought that they wanted to, but I don't know if they have the interest for it. So I knew it was like season 4
Mm-hmm.
was the first one they picked up for season 4, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So season 4 was not at all what anybody wanted to make when they made it. It was everybody has weird schedules. We're just going to make some stuff and throw it up there.
Mm-hmm. They called it like Fateful Consequences, and then it was just a little bit of everything. And there was a really bad green screen moment with who's the guy who plays the Fonz? His character, he's like a lawyer in there, but there's a really bad
Oh,
green screen.
Henry Winkler.
Yeah, really bad green screen in there. Like, oh, guys, it's gross.
Come on, you have Netflix money now.
Right.
Right.
Use some of that Netflix money.
Netflix pulled almost all their Marvel original shows.
Really?
Yeah. All that shit got canceled.
They stopped making them all, and people are thinking that it's because Disney is making their own streaming service.
Mm.
Disney owns Marvel. Disney's going to make their own Marvel shows, which they have already confirmed. I haven't seen Endgame yet, so
I haven't either, actually.
I don't know anything. I was going to say don't spoil anything, but they have a few different shows. There's one that's like a Loki, an entire series about Loki, an entire series about Hawkeye. So it's like there's going to be a lot of weird offshoots.
Yeah.
The guy who was the guy who played, I think it's Bucky and the Falcon or something like that. And then there's one about Scarlet Witch and Ultron. I think those are the 4 confirmed ones. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
Well, I
wonder-
don't know if that's necessary.
I wonder if Disney is just upping the licensing agreement where they can't have those brands unless they pay even
Right.
more,
Could
even
be.
more.
But they had a whole universe going. They had
Right.
like Luke Cage. They had the Defenders. They had Iron Fist, which people didn't really like.
They had Daredevil. Is that Marvel?
Daredevil. Yep.
I actually enjoyed that first season. Towards the end,
The
when
Punisher.
when they fought the bad guy, it was like kind of bad CGI, but I enjoyed every part of everything else. Like, it was really good how they did it. And then it just took too long for the second season to come out, and I forgot about it.
Moved on. Started thinking critically about how the fuck a blind guy is fighting crime in New York. And once you go down
That's
that
not the
rabbit
role
hole-
model I want.
He can see with sound.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
hills are alive with the sound of music.
Yeah. Well, without echolocation, that's not happening.
Paul, are you there?
Remember the scene in the movie, the Daredevil movie, where
Oh my
he's
god.
like, no, come here. It's gonna rain. And the rain like allows him to see for like a couple seconds before I'm like, you lost me, movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the first of 2 Ben Affleck superheroes that should not have fucking happened.
The other part was where they were fighting on a seesaw. Like right before that, when they first met, they're like sword
Oh,
fighting
him and
on
Elektra
a-
or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
they're like seesaw sword fighting, and the whole time you're like, he's blind. You are literally beating up a blind man. You don't know he's a superhero. But you're trying to beat up a blind man. So, whatever. That movie was not the best. It's good to go back and watch and laugh at, but it wasn't really the best. Colin Farrell as Bullseye was hilarious.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they had Evanescence in it, which made Evanescence a household name. It was that movie that
Yeah,
nobody
it was around
remembers.
that time, right?
Bring Me to Life was on that soundtrack. The music video was from the movie, like they had scenes from the movie in it.
Mm-hmm.
And that made
I forgot
Evanescence a
about
household name, really, I think.
As soon as you said Evanescence, Adam perked up. He adjusted his microphone. He's like, "Ooh,
that. I know what that's about.
I like that."
I was falling asleep for a second there.
It's been a busy weekend.
It's been a busy summer.
I did go to the Renaissance Fair yesterday.
Ooh, nice.
I went there for about 2 hours. We took the kid. It's not the same when you go with the kid
Yeah, I
at
bet.
all.
I don't doubt it.
At
This
all.
last time was it was a bachelor party.
Yeah, that was yeah, but that was just drinking and having fun, and I didn't do much of either yesterday.
Did you at least get a
Pretty much.
giant hunk of meat to eat?
I did.
Okay.
I did get a turkey leg, and 10 minutes into it, my shirt and my shorts are covered in turkey grease. I look like that part in Ace Ventura 2 where he's eating the zebras with the lions, it's just like all over my face. I'm just like, ready to go. And there's Tabitha and the kid eating pizza, just like sitting there looking at me like, oh my God.
You have to eat Renaissance food at the Renaissance.
Yeah,
Come
it
on
made sense.
now.
I know. I was like, but I'm still in the modern world society where like my hands are dirty, I have grease all over my face. And, like, what do? I need to find something to clean myself. So
I know
yeah.
a few people who go there dressed up every year, like they're not. I don't think they work there. They just go there constantly
Sure.
dressed up and stuff.
Oh, a lot
so
of people do.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It would be fun to do, but there's no way I'm going to be out there in 90-degree weather in full leather.
It was
Like,
hot, and there's a lot of people in full leather.
There's no
Crazy,
way.
man.
Although one time I would like to buy chainmail and actually have chainmail.
Sure.
Absolutely.
But I don't know if you looked at those while you were there, but they're like thousands of dollars for a good pair.
Oh yeah, no, we didn't walk into a lot of the stores because Arya had shit on her hands the whole time. I don't know how. She just had shit on her hands.
When did you eat a marshmallow? while your hands
Right.
sticky?
And then she just walks in and grabs everything, and I'm just like, these are like $700 skirts you're touching. No. So we didn't go in a lot of the stores, and yeah, it was pretty hot.
This piece of plywood necklace is $20. There's no way that you're. I mean, it's only this big, but you're not. No, don't touch it.
Right. She did get a little tiny wooden sword and a shield though.
When I was a kid, I got one of those, and I still have it.
Nice.
My grandpa actually painted it for me
Nice.
because I was a spoiled little brat,
Sure.
and my grandpa and grandma were like, "We'll get you this." I'm like, "But I want the one with color." They're like, "The colored one is like $20 more or whatever." You know, we'll get you the cheaper one. And then I threw a fit about it. They still got it from me anyway. My grandpa painted it for me, and I still have it.
Sure.
Did you love it even more? Or did you still resent them?
Honestly, I can't remember. I just remember throwing a fit that I wasn't getting the colored one. But
Sure.
I mean, it was painted really well.
Yeah.
My grandpa was really handy with a lot of those sorts of things. He built a gazebo in their backyard.
Nice.
Tight.
Nowadays, he's not as much as handy because he's a lot older. But
Sure. Sure.
Yeah. Speaking of good Renaissance stories, I remember when we went last time, there was a guy putting on a show. He was doing some tricks and magic, and that was fantastic. Adam, so we're walking by way in the back during one small
Break.
moment where he's not talking. Adam pulls out his wooden sword that he bought. He's like, he yells something like "Death to the King" or like "On guard."
I think I yelled, "Hang him!"
That was it.
Yeah.
And the entire crowd looks behind, thinking it's a part of the show. Like,
Yeah.
oh, like all of a sudden you're gonna come rushing up to the stage and
Right.
there's gonna be a fight. Like, no, it was
Just
just
some
Adam.
drunk asshole screaming. Everybody laughed though.
they look and you have just like a normal T-shirt.
Totally,
on. It's like,
totally. I
oh.
was just wearing that, like khaki, purse pants, and like it was good. That was fun though. That was a fun time. Yeah, yeah. We'll go again before it's done because I want to go and have a good experience and maybe drink a little, spend some money,
get some mead.
get some weed.
Mead.
That's what you said. Okay. I'm like, I can't get that there.
I'm sure you can find it.
I don't want it from there.
But they'd probably give you ye old weed.
WEEDE.
No, have you ever actually had mead though?
I never have. No.
It's go look up. It's not very festive for Renaissance Fair, but go get. It's called Zombie Killer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's so good. It's
What?
it's a cherry mead. I can't remember who makes it, but you can get it at
So, zombie killed with mines, zombie killer game, zombie killed.
Zombie Killer Mead.
That's not what I typed in. I'm
Oh.
not there yet.
Zombie Killer. It's a cherry mead.
There we go.
It's like $8 for a bottle, probably about this big, but
Yeah.
it's worth the
Looks,
$8.
looks like a big bottle, and it's just mead, huh? Hard cider with honey and cherry.
That
Yeah,
sounds
mead
delicious.
It
is
does.
basically like a. I think, if I remember correctly, mead is a honey wine or wine made with honey. So it's
Really?
like I think it's like an apple wine made with honey and cherry.
Interesting.
I had no idea what mead is.
Well, I know that they drink it a lot in either
What?
various
The-
pirate and or
What be mead? Mead, or honey wine, is the oldest alcohol drink known to man. It is made from honey and water via fermentation with yeast. It may be still carbonated or sparkling. It may be dry, semi-sweet, or sweet. Unlike beers and cider, meads, being wines, are drunk in small quantities. But here in America, you can buy a 15, milliliter bottle of it for $9.
We don't use the metric system here.
That's fair. It's about 4 gulps.
I drank a 1.75 ounce bottle of Moscato to myself,
Oh boy.
and I don't remember the second half of the night.
Nice. Nice. How was the morning after, though?
Just fine.
Oh.
I made sure to drink a lot of water.
All right. All right. It's always weird when people drink a lot and then they just like, oh, yeah, I was responsible with it. And I'm just like, oh, well, that's not a fun story.
I was at home, so
Sure.
and my wife's pregnant, so she was like, I can't drink any of it. I'm like, well, more for me then. I'm pretty sure I drank it in the shower too, so shower wine at that point,
Nice.
Ooh.
which is always fun.
Sure.
You're either really happy or you're really sad when you drink shower wine.
That's
when you
true.
make that a thing.
Yeah.
I was in this case was happy.
Okay.
Sure. Sure.
I wasn't laying in the shower drinking it.
Not again.
Not this time. That was the week before.
Yeah, that's a big difference for sure. Are you standing or laying in the shower? Or sitting on the edge of the toilet with your head in your hands? Not speaking from experience or nothing. I just
No.
it's probably what people do when they're miserable and sad.
That's what I assume. I
Yeah.
picture in my head.
Yeah, you know.
The exact thing that people do.
I know clarity. It wasn't me. I was there for someone else. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I was.
I was in the shower while somebody else was showering, but they were miserable. I was
They busted it on me. It wasn't the other way around.
yeah. Here I was just washing my ass, and someone comes in, sits down, starts crying in the shower. Story of my life,
Saying,
man.
why are you in my bathroom?
Who are you? I don't know you. And then I get chased up. I mean, they get chased out by the.
That's the fun thing about alcohol. It gives you different feeling, different drunk feeling. Like,
Depending on what you drink.
yeah, whether you're a beer drinker, wine, if you go vodka, some people get real fucked up on tequila.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
a lot of people who say they can't drink tequila because it makes them one way or another.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. Tequila's weird.
I've never actually had it, so.
How weird is it though that there's a substance that can just chemically alter us just a little bit enough to turn us into a completely different human being? You know, it's just nuts
Mhm.
and nuts. It's weird. It's weird. It's real weird. Me bad words today.
Why say many words when few words do trick?
Yeah, had a couple of those moments.
I work from home now, so while I shouldn't and probably can't, I can actually day drink.
Mm.
Weird flex, but all right.
Just want to keep
tell,
going.
tell me. I work from home too. I don't mean to flex, but tell me more about your work from home experience and the alcohol you may or may not consume.
I really shouldn't / can't because I'm also on the phones talking to people.
Oh,
so
sure.
that'd be I do customer service on the phone. So
Sure.
I'd be like, "No, you're dumb. You're the drunk one, not me. I'm just asking about my insurance policy."
Right?
So no, it's been fun so far. It's a lot better than having to drive an hour to get to work
Mm-hmm.
with my car that takes premium gas because it's an SUV. It's an Acura, and why it needs premium, I don't know, but it's $1 billion a gallon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So otherwise, I mean, but I can day drink now.
Very nice.
No, I can't. Sorry, I can't.
Well,
I can't and I
technicalities.
don't.
Can't or won't. Both.
Both?
Yeah.
That just started happening, so I'm like, last week was the first week. This week, I'm going to see if it's feasible because while I do answer calls and talk to people, I don't always do that. I'm kind of in a supervisor role without having a supervisor title, so I don't actually have to talk on the phones. I just answer people's questions about their talking on the phones.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a weird spot for me.
Yeah.
So
I could imagine doing that while you're drunk. Like you resolve someone's issue and you hang up and you call back. Oh, and another thing.
just start giving out the wrong information on purpose because I think it's funny at the time.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, you want to get your butt skin put on your forehead? Totally covered, man. Yeah, I got a referral for you, actually.
Maybe if you didn't have that hysterectomy in 08, you'd think better for yourself.
man.
Like, whoa.
Go see Dr. Hugh Janutz.
Huge nuts, yeah. Proctologist, right?
prescription was more cowbell. All right.
That's pretty funny.
That's such a good song, though. Even with the cowbell, it's a good song.
Absolutely. I just wish there was more of it.
More
Cowbell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why normally when I'm listening, I'm just like, I still have a fever. I don't know why this isn't working. It's another good SNL skit.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Bringing it full circle.
Yeah. So there's only about, let's see, what's today? August now?
Yeah.
So there's about a month and a half left of summer, approximately, right? Especially
Well,
here.
Wisconsin, we could have another 3 months of summer,
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. It
or
might
we
be
could have another
90
couple weeks.
until November. Yeah, I don't know.
Summer didn't start for us until like halfway through June.
No shit, though. It was chilly.
We had like some 70 or 80-degree days back in November and December. It was weird.
And we did have warm November, December.
Mhm.
That was weird.
I remember there's been quite a few years where it's like, oh, we don't have snow this year on Christmas. Oh, weird.
Right. This year, for specifically, there was grass was green Christmas Eve when we woke up, and it was just flurrying enough to make it like, okay, here's some snow for your Christmas. Thanks, Harp.
Honestly, I'm fine with that. I don't like snow. I like the cold. I don't like snow.
Sure. You can definitely deal with the cold better than with snow. Yeah.
Well, because then people drive like they've never. You live in Wisconsin. It snows every year. You should know how to drive in the snow. Stop being an idiot. This isn't new to you. Unless, of course, this is your first winter driving, which then it's new to you. But majority of you, it's not new.
Yeah. They either take it to one extreme or another. They still drive like it's summertime, taking turns at fast speeds. They're
Yeah.
flying by. Or they're doing like 30 and a 45 and like
Yeah.
when the conditions don't call for it. Sometimes it
Yeah,
does. Like,
sure.
oh, when it's really
It's-
bad. Absolutely.
It's not snowing. The roads are dry. They're clear. You can see it, and they're still going. There's snow on the ground. One time, I don't know if I ever said this story, but one time I worked at Domino's. I had to drive from the Oak Creek store up to the one out here in Racine. So I had to go get some supplies, some cheese. I think we ran out of because it was a really busy day. It was snowing, terrible conditions, and behind me I see a car weaving in and out, like going behind people weaving in and out. Ends up right in front of me on this lane, and in front of me was another car. They both rev their engines. They both take off. They're both street racing. I take off just normal. I'm watching. All of a sudden, the one car spins out, hits a snowbank
Wow.
right in front of the Domino's. So I'm like, yes. I'm already laughing. Like, this is instant karma. This is the best instance of it. I get out and I can hear him. He's freaking out because it's his dad's car.
Nice.
And it's like a nice muscle car too. Like, and he crashed it. And so I go into the Domino's. I'm just dying laughing. And I'm trying to tell them the story, and they're like, here's your cheese. And so, like, I go out.
Guys.
I'm like, seriously, you guys don't think this? Whatever. Some people don't have good sense of humor.
I guess. But people down here, they're a little, anyways,
What
Most-
you mean, like around your neck of the woods, or just in general?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't want to say anything specific, like, hey, like, you mean that person over there? Or-
Yeah. Jimmy, 3 houses down. He's a real a-hole.
I don't really know a lot of my neighbors. I know them a little bit. They
As you shouldn't.
keep inviting us to stuff, but like it's always the day of the thing that they're doing. And like yesterday specifically, their kid had a birthday party, and they came over twice to ask us if we come over. First time we were on our way out to the Renaissance Fair. Second time I was waiting for my siblings to come over because they stayed the night last night. So I'm just like, dude, I'm sorry. Like, I guess we could come over for 5 minutes, but you don't understand. You can't take a 4-year-old to a party for 5 minutes.
Right.
That's right next door. That girl ain't gonna do nothing but scream and cry until she gets to go back. So we just had to make a decision,
Yeah.
I think we made the right one for us, maybe not the right one for them. The second time he came over to invite us over, he was really drunk. Really drunk.
I had a neighbor that was like that.
Yeah.
We'd walk outside because we're on our way out somewhere. He'd come over with like 6 of his teeth and
All 6 of them.
be like, hey, you want this or you want that? And we're like, we're leaving, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. I'll just come back later. And I come back later, he's got a fire and still drinking. He was a cool
Yeah.
guy, though. All in all, he was a cool guy. He just was always drunk.
I just don't see any merit in getting that drunk at your child's birthday party, whether it's at your house on a Saturday night or not. I just feel like it's weird.
Yeah, you
But-
should be letting your children get drunk at their own party.
That's
Thank
really
you.
what makes sense. I mean, what are you
Yeah.
buying the alcohol for? You selfish prick.
not your birthday.
I don't know. I have a really weird relationship with alcohol. I have no idea why. I don't have any traumatic story or anything. Like it really wasn't a part of my childhood or anything. When people are drunk, I just immediately am like, I don't want to be by you.
I can get that.
And I
get-
don't know why.
Well, because most people get obnoxious.
Yeah, belligerent, just stupid. Like, this isn't who you are, but this is how you're acting because of this alcohol, and you need to just stop it.
Some people say it brings out who you really are, though.
Well, then in that case, you're an asshole, and I don't want to be by you. That's just, it's one of the two. But yeah, I have a bad relationship with people who are drunk, which is why I could never ever work at a bar.
I thought about it. I'm like, bartenders make a lot of money,
They
like
can,
daily,
yeah, for
cash
sure.
for tips. And I'm like, I don't think I could do it. And I thought like, one of my passions has been not as much lately, but cooking. Like I
Mhm.
love making food. I love making recipes, trying new things out. I was like, I wanted to open a restaurant at one point, but then not only is there so much work that goes into it, so much money that goes into it, and then for the first like 5 years, you don't have a family anymore. You just
Mhm.
work 70 hours to hopefully make enough money to pay your rent.
Right?
So I'm like, none of this sounds actually appetizing to me. But I always wanted to do like a barn grill, have cool like cocktails or something that people would come in and have fun with. And I'm like, do I? Do I want to deal with that? I mean, I could get away with it in around this area. This is Wisconsin. There's Cudahy and South Milwaukee used to own the world record for most bars per capita.
Right.
There was like a bar at every corner, and then sometimes a bar in the middle of that.
Yeah.
Especially in Cudahy.
If not two,
Yeah.
on both sides of the block.
Yeah. Right between a church.
It's actually in the church.
Yeah, the church has their own distillery
Yeah.
going on.
I'm like,
Give me some more of that Jesus blood.
Yeah.
we only serve wine here. Sorry.
Would you like a wafer?
I was just thinking of a church bar.
They'd probably
That'd be
have mead.
tight. Sure, they'd probably have mead,
Yeah.
different kinds of wines, maybe a few ales. No beers,
Why
but
don't-
like,
What do they cheers to? Like to Jesus.
well, yeah,
And
to
also with
Jesus.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, how about we do this then? Mute the mics for a second. Let's open up our own wine bar. In the middle of whatever, like, let's go to a very religious district.
Mm-hmm.
Make it church themed, but it's actually a wine bar.
Hmm.
Serve wafers. We can call it. What can we call it?
Full disclosure, I'm not muting any of this.
Earmuffs. Earmuffs.
I wonder if we can get away with that.
I'm trying to think.
Have somebody shutting us down.
Yeah.
This is offensive.
Sure, man. Sure.
We'll call it like higher spirits or something.
Oh, nailed it.
That's nice.
Nailed it. Higher spirits.
Higher spirits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can only have positive vibes. And if anybody gets because wine drunk, you don't normally get belligerent.
Right.
So,
Right.
but if anybody does, we gotta move on up.
Oh, can we incorporate like a confessional area?
Ooh,
You
that'd
know
be
how you-
perfect.
I mean, you get them more and more drunk. They start revealing more things to you.
And you don't tell them it's recorded, and then you can blackmail them.
Absolutely. Yes. This guy gets it.
Shit.
Corporate espionage. Here we come.
Yeah, we just gotta get the right folks coming in. Well, if you have a religious themed bar, you'd have the higher ups coming in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, they
Exactly.
gotta show face. Want a picture of them in the newspaper.
Yeah.
Well, so you make it so it just looks like a church, and then everybody's like, "Oh, I'm going to church
Mm-hmm.
at 8 p.m." And all the like you'll get like politicians going in there. No, I'm very religious. I'm very.
Well, there you go. Just call it church. Just call it church. CHURCH. Just call it church, so that they're like, yeah, I'm going to mass at the church.
Mm-hmm.
But would they
At
think
church.
it's the church's chicken?
Well, not if we don't call it church's chicken. I was just, they kind of have that brand, sure, but
All right, son. Take 2 shots. Say 3 Hail Marys.
and it's $1 for the darts machine. Provide a good service, man.
That's right.
Praise be with you, and also with you.
Mhm.
What about can we have not costumes, uniforms?
Well, we would have to.
Are we gonna have like nuns or the servers? They got the full headdress.
Are you talking actual nun or sexy nun?
I was thinking the same thing.
I was originally thinking old lady nun, but I
Sure.
like the direction you guys are going.
Sure.
Yeah.
But then it'll end up looking like those the cocktail waitresses in Vegas, where you have like this 63-year-old grandmother wearing this fucking thing, that you would see Selena wearing or something, a bustier, or whatever they call them, and they just look like you don't like. Excuse me, ma'am, would you like my jacket? Kind of thing.
This is 2019. Are you trying to say that you're ageist? There can be sexy grandmas.
Hey, if you look at my porn history, you will know that is not what I'm saying.
Gilf.
I'm just saying, as I'm just looking at this person, and this older lady, and I'm just like, man, I just, why can't you just wear something dignifying and just a shirt or something?
Okay, scratch the sexy nuns.
Sure.
What if it was okay?
Sexy cardinals.
Yes,
Ooh,
yes.
There's a severe lack of male strippers.
I was thinking that a
I think the Catholic Church would disagree with you. They can get a lot of boys to take their clothes off.
Boys, I'm saying men.
Yeah, they're not interested so much.
Good point.
Once there's
Well,
grass
now
in
we're
the
starting
field.
to get into: are we opening up a child porn ring? And that's terrible.
That's not at all what I said.
let's call it church.
Let's call it church. Shit.
Church's children.
All right, maybe there will be some. All right, that has to be cut out. That's funny.
Chris sounds funny. We gotta cut that out. Chris made a good joke. We gotta cut it.
Fuck it, I'll leave it all in. Fuck it.
I don't condone that, just so you know.
Oh my god.
Hey, I don't even think we went there. They went there first.
Yeah,
okay?
that's
In
true.
all
That's a
fairness,
good point, yeah.
we're just shining a light on it.
Yep, that's right.
We're signal boosting.
Wow.
We're looking to turn it into a profitable business scheme. Is what we're trying to do.
Wow.
Okay, let's rewind a second here. Sexy nuns and sexy cardinals. How about that?
Sure.
I like that.
Sure. There you go.
But
there you
not
go.
sexy priests. That's too far.
Okay. Sure. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Despite what we just got done saying.
Yeah.
It's too far.
No sexy priests. That's fine. Do sexy nuns and sexy cardinals, I guess. Just have like a red kilt and that little weird Jewish hat kind of thing. What's that called? It
yarmulke?
isn't. Thank you. I knew there was a word for it. I didn't think of it. I
Can
don't
we
know.
have a sexy pope, though? With a pope hat?
Like once a month.
Yeah.
Once a month, we'll get like a little Pope mobile, right? It'll
Yeah.
ride in on a little tricycle motorcycle. He'll ride in, and it'll just be all like he'll have like some little choker with a cross on it, a little belt, chastity belt. It'll be metal. It'll look awesome, and then he'll wear his little Pope hat, the whoop thing, and he'll just stand in the glass and dance. And women will throw dollars in there. And then there's a fan at the bottom that makes the dollars fly up, and he's just dancing in a.
Ladies,
Yeah.
turn your head to the pope mobile.
Yeah. Let us give thanks. I think we got a thing going
We're
on here.
accepting generous donations.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a church.
Right.
Tax deductible. There's no tax.
Oh, now
Yeah.
we're talking.
We have to actually have service, and we can do that.
We could
Yeah.
have service once or twice a week.
Wine church.
Wine church.
Church of the wine.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people who legit are in the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, which was the
Yeah, I mean, and not even as ridiculous. The Scientologists are still considered not a cult, so they don't get that. They don't have to pay taxes on
good
anything.
point. That's more ridiculous than the
Yeah.
Flying Spaghetti Monster.
Yeah, it is more ridiculous than the Flying Spaghetti Monster. Because at least the Flying Spaghetti Monster people, you're like, all right, you just don't really give a shit, you know. But you want to belong to something. It's cool. You all
Doing it
meet
for the
up
laughs.
once a month for a spaghetti dinner, and praise be to he, the noodle, and you know, do whatever you got to do. And that you're cool with. They're meeting in the basement of some fucking moose lodge or something.
Yeah.
You can actually, if you can prove that you are part of the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, you can pose for your driver's license with a strainer on your head, because that's the equivalent of their yarmulke.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. You just gotta
Yeah.
be careful of, like, the false prophets. You know, rigatoni, mastacholi. You know,
No, yeah.
you
that's-
only have one pasta god.
There is only one pasta god.
Did you ever play the game Overcooked?
No, I've heard about it, but I haven't played it yet.
You're cooking for the Flying Spaghetti Monster, essentially.
Oh,
You have
cool.
to save the world.
Nice.
That's the main plot of it. That's where you get right in the beginning. The character's like, you need to do this, and they throw you right into the game, and whether you do good or bad, that goes, oh no, you're not good enough. We're gonna time warp you back. So,
Oh.
but yeah, you're cooking salad in the very first moments of the game for the Flying Spaghetti Monster. So
Interesting.
Well, it sounds like a solid plot. I'd love to explore it.
well, it's a giant onion that's telling you this. So
Wait, I thought it was a spaghetti monster.
no, well, you're cooking for the Spaghetti Monster, but the onion is the one that's telling you.
Oh.
Is the
And you're
onion the onion the Jesus equivalent, like the spaghetti monster's son?
No,
No. Okay.
he's just a guy who's like, you're not doing good enough. Quick, jump in this time portal, and then transports you back to 1993.
Right.
I was playing it last night. It's fresh in my mind.
When spaghetti was the #1 food in America,
course.
1993.
Yeah,
It was cheap, affordable, and apparently religious.
it still is cheap, and I mean,
Hell yeah.
buy a thing of noodles for like $1,
And then
Think
a
of sauce
pound
for
of
like
meat.
$2.
Yeah. Yeah.
and then if you want to, buy some meat to throw in.
Yeah,
there.
if you want to. You don't even need to. You don't even need to have meat.
But you need garlic bread.
It's essential.
You can do without the meat, but you need the garlic bread.
In fact, you could probably just buy garlic bread.
Sure. So you have spaghetti, garlic bread. What else do you have with spaghetti? Like there has to be like what vegetable or something. You know, like you have to have something
It's usually
else.
an Italian salad. You ever have?
Oh, okay.
You know, you got your lettuce, but it's like oil and vinegar dressing.
Sure.
Italian. And
Giant pieces of tomato in there.
tomato, some cucumber, black olives, maybe. They do mozzarella cheese.
Sure. Okay. So
why
like
I don't
an
eat it.
Italian salad. Okay.
Fucking pepperoni. They throw pepperoni in
Sure.
there in a salad.
Hello, every pizza place. But yeah, no, you're right. I was just thinking in the spaghetti monster, what would be the holy trinity? And it would be the spaghetti, garlic bread, and Italian salad.
Oh,
So now it kind of makes sense.
I was say, otherwise, you have a lot of vegetables in the sauce. So.
You're right. You're right. There's a lot of vegetables cooked into the sauce. I guess I didn't think about that. I just felt like with every meal, you're supposed to have some sort of vegetable.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I always like to put onions at least in there.
Sure.
I like extra mushrooms. I'm a mushroom guy.
Oh yeah.
Yep, onion, mushroom, some fresh garlic.
Sure.
I don't normally like tomatoes, but in spaghetti, I like tomatoes,
Yes.
like chunks of tomato.
Hmm.
I think it's because it's cooked. I don't like raw tomato.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's different when it's in the sauce.
I was hearing somebody say that like a tomato off the vine in Italy is as good and as like wholesome as an apple.
Huh.
Like you bite into it, you understand why it's a fruit if you eat a real Italian tomato.
Oh, I thought it just because the way it grew made it a fruit.
Well, I mean, probably, but here you're just like a tomato's not a fruit. You know, it doesn't make any goddamn sense. Why would you, put it in a fruit salad? You know, I don't cut it up with my grapes and strawberries, dip it in Nutella, and have a night.
Here's the real question, though.
Make it a night.
If tomato is indeed a fruit,
Right.
is ketchup a smoothie?
Yes.
Okay. On to the next question.
It's settled.
Have you ever seen people who made? I've never done it, so I don't know the logistics behind it. I was gonna say linguine.
Rigatoni, spaghetti, fettuccine.
Like I promise you, linguistics isn't the right word either. I don't know what you're going for. Linguistics?
You try-
Logistics?
That's think logistics is what I was going
Okay,
for.
okay,
I was
okay.
thinking linguine because we're thinking about spaghetti, so it's kind of
Okay,
But
the
taco,
linguistics.
spaghetti tacos or whatever, spaghetti sandwiches, things like that, where they put
Okay.
spaghetti on bread or
Sure.
in a taco shell. Like I've seen people do that. And I'm like,
Sure.
no, I don't want any of this.
I have flat out taken just white bread, buttered it, and put spaghetti in it, folded it up, and eaten it, and that's
Well,
delicious.
that's different. That's almost like when I would do it with like SpaghettiOs or something. You know,
Well, see, that's weird to me. Totally the same thing, I guess, but but for some reason, that's just
don't
that's
get in. I used to take
Sure. Okay. Okay.
take buttered bread, put a little bit of garlic salt on it,
Yeah.
and then use it as like garlic bread. I wouldn't even toast it though, because I was
Sure.
lazy.
Yeah. Fuck that.
When
We
you
got the
toast
time.
it, it loses its foldability. So you
Yeah.
can't really-
Then you're just like kind of bending it and cracking it.
But people will actually make spaghetti sandwiches that you have to eat like this. I don't get that. Yeah, I've seen it. It's a thing.
The bread would have to be really perfect for me to want to care enough to eat it like that. You know.
I'd want like a garlic bread like the school lunches used to have, or it's just like some stale hamburger buns. that they
Yeah.
just
Oh,
toss
yeah.
some butter on. Yeah.
Butter and garlic
That would
salt.
make a good spaghetti sandwich, I feel.
Oh, you're right. That
Maybe
would.
you're right. Maybe there is something to this.
So a hamburger bun coated with butter
And garlic.
and garlic salt.
Do you toast it?
Salt or powder? There's a big difference.
Ooh, depends if you're using salted butter or not. If it's too salty already, you don't want to over salt.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah.
So garlic powder.
Garlic powder.
Garlic powder.
Unless you're my family, which they put salt on their garlic salt.
I feel like you could and should toast it, but that's up to you.
Right.
Like you could get a
Lightly
nice little
toasted.
lightly toasted, on the inside, and
Yep.
then once you fold
Kinda
it
like
over.
like a butter burger sort of thing where you just put it
Ooh.
Sure.
face down onto the griddle for
Yeah.
a couple seconds.
That'd
or whatever.
probably be the best way to do it. And then spaghetti.
I think what you should do is you should butter, garlic it, throw it down, and take it off, put a little bit more butter in it.
Ooh,
Okay.
That way it's like extra, almost soggy, but like good soggy. not
Yeah.
like bad soggy.
you want it to soak in a little bit. You're
Yeah,
not just
exactly.
doing a light dusting of butter. It's,
Right. We want the double butter spaghetti burger.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing here. Okay.
Do we form that into a patty then, or we just throw it on and just gloops?
I
over
like
it?
the patty concept. There's molds you could find, where you just shove some spaghetti in there, pat it down, and on
Yeah.
the bread. I don't know where that sound was, but
Well, you could almost make like a meatball with spaghetti in it.
Ooh.
So it's kind of like a meat patty with spaghetti.
Okay, okay.
So then it kind of almost looks like it's a burger. Where
Yeah.
you get like spaghetti noodles sticking out of it and stuff.
Oh, then you're making a mini spaghetti monster.
Exactly.
The spaghetti
And
monster
then the
burger.
one you get to eat.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Monster
Ooh.
burger.
We're just ideas.
I am really hungry right now.
Yeah.
For a lot of reasons, but mostly talking about this spaghetti monster stuff.
I had leftover brats. That was my.
I got leftover spaghetti in the fridge, and I'm just like, damn, I don't think it's gonna make it till tomorrow. Not after this.
The next video, like, I'll check it in like an hour. It'll be a live stream of you, and here's how we're gonna be cooking the. like,
Yeah.
They didn't invite me over for that. We were just talking about it.
Oh, I don't do a lot of live streaming things. I did for like 2 months. I streamed, but then I got bored with it and whatever. Didn't have the time.
I know how that goes.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm trash at Fortnite, so I just stopped. I just fucking stopped, man.
I think that I would, if I had more of a dedicated time to live stream anything, like
Sure.
any games or anything, I would. I just don't have dedicated time. I don't have a dedicated space.
Oh,
now,
sure.
Everything is set up in my bedroom,
Mm-hmm.
where I don't even have a bed frame right now. It's just a mattress on the ground because we moved and we couldn't fit our bed frame out of our old house. We never bought a new one,
Oh shit.
so we're just kind of like, eh. My wife's very pregnant right now, so she sleeps on the couch because it's more comfortable for her to sleep on the couch.
Yep, and I remember that. Yep.
So I just have the whole bed on the ground with my TV and a little stand that I play games on. It gets really hot in there because I don't have AC.
Well, fuck, dude. Since everybody's feeling sorry for Anthony, we're gonna go ahead and end this episode now.
Still pump out content though because I'm dedicated.
Dedicated. Check out Bad Andy on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Where else?
I started a Reddit that I don't use.
Okay.
Same thing. Though.
Well, if you're interested in not using Reddit, check him out on Reddit as well.
That's about it, though. I just pay attention to Twitter. That's what I do the most besides the actual YouTube.
It
channel.
is, yep, and that's where I found out that he wanted a Nintendo NES. What's it called?
Super
NES.
Nintendo Classic.
New Super NES Classic thing, and I was like, all right, fuck it, let's do it. Amazon.
Again,
what
thank
up?
you for that. That's
You're very welcome. I hope you play it. If you're able to, I don't know if you were how you would fuck it up. You'd probably have to get a capture card to stream it, record it.
have the capture stuff. I don't
Okay.
have the computer for it.
Oh shit.
I have my laptop. I have a MacBook that I might be able to use, but I have to figure
With
it out.
those, you have no idea if it's gonna work or not,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly. It's a pain.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, if you're able to, I'd love to see some content.
Oh, trust me. Once I get that up and running,
Yeah.
that's probably all I'll do.
That's cool. We'll have we'll do some mashups. We'll play some games together. We'll see how that works. You play on PlayStation or Xbox? Your normal
PlayStation 4.
games.
That's why
PlayStation
it's
4. Okay.
On PS4.
And you play Smite normally.
Smite.
I think I'm going to download Smite on my PlayStation 4.
Do it.
You should download Smite on your. It's free, right?
Yeah, it's free.
We'll download Smite. We'll figure out how to do it, and we'll do a game sesh where we're all just I don't know, recording it, I guess, somehow, and then
the
we'll
PlayStation can record it for you. That's how I do it.
right, and then it just straight uploads to YouTube there,
Yep,
right?
you can straight.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
What I do is
just do that.
I record that whatever game. I stop the recording after the game. Later on, I go and I just trim the beginning so it
Oh,
fits
sure.
perfectly, and then I
Okay.
upload it to YouTube
Directly from the PlayStation.
directly from PlayStation. I set it as private so I can name it whatever I want
Oh, that makes
and
sense.
schedule an upload time.
There you go.
It's super easy. That's why, I today at what time is it? Oh, it's already out. I was playing a game. It's free. It's hilarious. It's called Kitten Squad. It's made by PETA.
Oh my god.
It's kind of like, have you ever seen or played Binding of Isaac? It's like Super Smash TV or anything like that. It's a dungeon crawler where you're moving with one stick and you're shooting in any direction with the other stick.
Oh sure.
Well, I guess if you look at the actual what the game is about, it's about saving animals from robots that punch sheep. And I'm like, yeah, we'll play this. So I
Totally.
played that with my little cousin. So a couple episodes of that. Otherwise, my wife and I will play some Sonic Racing. We'll play.
Sure.
So I try to do other games as well,
Sure.
but Smite's my main focus.
Yeah. Gaming channel.
Yeah,
is
I want to be
basically-
a broad audience gaming channel.
Yeah. Yeah.
When 90%
Some of the people you stream with, their language is a little harsh for a broad audience.
True.
That's one of the things I had a problem with streaming with my brother and stuff when I was streaming because he was just a dipshit and a little call him bitch fit Kyle because that's how he was.
Yeah, I can agree.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
But hey, it's your shit. You do whatever you want.
I'm not monetized, so they can't demonetize.
That's
me.
what I'm saying. Yeah. So the rules are a little different until you get to that point. But it's just what do you want to be? What kind of audience do you want to reach out to? Kids that are playing Smite or
Well, there's
other 30-year-olds?
there's big name YouTubers and streamers who
Yeah.
have no care what they say, and
Yep.
12-year-olds are the only people who watch
Absolutely.
them.
Totally. Absolutely. Yep.
So you got millions upon millions of people.
Yep.
That's actually, I'll say it, but we're not going to get into it. But Ninja just switched from an exclusive Twitch contract to Mixer,
Yep.
which is the Microsoft-owned one.
Yep.
I guess it was a huge deal, and he did far more on Mixer in one day.
Wow.
Like he broke his record, his one-day record.
Holy shit.
So
I tried signing into Mixer to watch his first stream, but then I remembered you have to use a Microsoft account, and I threw my phone away because fuck that noise. So I'll never be watching Ninja on Mixer, unfortunately.
sadly, I already have one because
Sure.
Smite is also almost exclusive on on Mixer for their big pro tournament. Or
Oh, I
pro-
see. I see.
Pro league and whatnot. So
Sure.
I already watched that. So
I don't know anything about Mixer, but it's similar to Twitch.
yeah, it's like the same thing.
Yeah, pretty
Except that my work banned Twitch, but they don't know what Mixer is, so I can still watch it on my phone with their
Neat.
Wi-Fi.
much. Neat. Okay.
Now I work from home though, so
Yeah.
again, flex that.
I don't know if you guys heard me the last 3 times.
Well, all right. Everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to That's Our Take. We got a podcast as well on podbean.com. I believe it's also available on iTunes. Check that out. We're going to go to the Renaissance Fair before it's done this year, and there's going to be a solid video about that.
Ooh,
That'll
are you
be
gonna bring
fun.
the camera and
Yep.
actually shoot stuff?
Yep.
Yeah.
It'll be better than the Summerfest one because this one will be our episode at the at the Renaissance Fair, basically. Not just we'll do an episode and then show some footage. We'll fuck around. We'll get drunk. We'll get a little stupid. Maybe I'll bring Tab to hold the camera or something so that we don't have to have it all on my selfie stick and I'm that guy. We look like a gay couple from San Francisco.
It was a little rough.
I'm sure if you did that too, you'd get a lot of people. What is this magical stick that you're holding? People in characters.
Well, it's called the stick of slapping a bitch that ain't minding their own business.
Boom.
Thanks, everybody.